Hi, and welcome to another episode of Get Your Fill, Financial Independence and Long Life, where we attract ways and find ways and explore ways to achieve those two goals. And we invite folks on to help us. And that's why I'm really excited today to be joined by Dr. Hank Seitz. He is going to help us to become our best self. And Dr. Hank, I'm going to let you kind of introduce because you've got quite a great history, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you feel are your highlights.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate you and just love your podcast, love your book, Empower Your Inner Millionaire. We all have a way to be able to empower ourselves to riches and all kinds of things that we want. I think everybody's going to really love this, especially if you're entrepreneurs, if you want to be, do, and have more. That where the Dr. Hank comes in is I'm actually my PhD is in mental science. And so I've been teaching for almost 30 years, and this is with Fortune 100 companies around the world. With primarily, I focus on entrepreneurs now and real estate professionals, but I help them become their greatest possibility. And what I've been teaching is, in essence, how thoughts become things. Now, what's really exciting about this, Christine, is that I have what I've been teaching for almost 30 years, that science, all of the science disciplines, quantum physicists, molecular biologists, they've all agreed now that there's 3 steps to create anything in our lives, to have our dreams come true. And so would you like to know what those 3 steps are?
You bet. Absolutely. I have some thoughts that I want to become things right away.
Yeah, exactly. And we really have the power, and I'll explain to you on how easy it is and why it hasn't been playing out the way that we typically have wanted it. But based on the science tests now that have proven this, and all the disciplines the last 5 years have agreed that there's 3 steps. The first step is our all-powerful thoughts. So it has nothing to do with the outside world, what's going on, what your background is, nothing. What it has to do with where your current thoughts are, what you're thinking about right now in this red hot moment, if you will. And the second step then, according to scientists, is that your thoughts then create energy. And what that energy is actually our emotions. And so, because think about when you do think about something, that you create emotions. And we have a beautiful guidance system where when we feel bad, it's really telling us that we're not thinking about this properly. And when we feel good, it means we are thinking about this properly on whatever we want to be, do, and have. So step 1 is our all-powerful thoughts. Step 2 is those thoughts create energy, which is our emotions. And step 3, that energy, according to the scientists, creates matter, matter. And this is why thoughts become things. However, people have, they tell me, come on, Dr. Hank, I've been looking for more money, or, want the perfect mate or whatever. And my thoughts don't create it. I don't have enough money. I don't like the person I'm with, whatever it is. And here's why that is that, and let's just imagine that we're thinking about colors. And so let's think about a bright yellow paint, okay? And just think about a bright yellow paint. And that yellow are thoughts about what we do want, thoughts about our bright future, thoughts about our good health and our wealth and our happiness. And so we have all these thoughts. And maybe you wake up in the morning and you start out with, these wonderful, happy thoughts, if you will, and thoughts about your bright future. But then we start meeting the day, if you will. And so, we have a deal that goes south. Our boss yells at us, if we're not already an entrepreneur. But really, when you're an entrepreneur, you got all kinds of bosses, your clients, right? And so, someone cuts you off, and whatever, you get into an argument. So what you do is you start thinking now about these things that are occurring, that are in front of you, the what is, and let's call that red. Okay, and this red, deep, bright red paint, and we had this bright yellow paint. And so again, that yellow are those good feeling thoughts. The red are those not good feeling thoughts, things that we don't like, things that upset us, we get angry about. And when you mix those two together, the red and the yellow, you come up with orange. And people say to me, but I didn't ask for oranges. And oh, yes, you did. And the reason why this is because we have been told to face reality. So thus, the things that we're looking at right now, the scientists already told us. I've been teaching and proving it, helping people become millionaires, billionaires, have better health, overcome cancer. I mean, all kinds of wonderful things, because we all have the power to do that. And so all of those things, and that, but people say, you know, I didn't ask for oranges and I have to face this reality. But all of science has said that it's your thoughts first that create energy, that then create your experience. So actually what we're looking at right now, Chris, is old news. It's what our thought has been previously. So, you know, people sometimes say to me, oh, Dr. Hank, quit living in la la land, if you will. And believe me, everybody would like to live in la la land. And quit living in la la land. And why don't you face reality? And so I always say, my response back to them is, I shall never face reality because I create reality. And that, folks, is really the essence of how to create the things that you want, is to be thinking more about the yellow, those good feeling thoughts, those things that you do want, and not pay too much attention to the things you don't want, that red stuff that's kind of happening in our lives. And most people aren't very deliberate, and so thus, and don't feel they're empowered, and thus they aren't deliberate creators, and they get life by default.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because these kinds of conversations, right, years ago would be like the woo-woo kind of things, right? This is all but now science has begun to actually prove these things. They've begun to show people this is not just some kind of
Right, right.
metaphysical kind of la stuff. It's real now. It's fact. And
Yeah. And I know that you'd like to talk, you know, initially on the program about like my background. And again, I don't put too much focus on my past unless I really liked it or loved it and enjoyed it. And I don't put much focus on what's happening right now. I put all my mental focus on what will be in the way that I want it to be. And I have some wonderful techniques and ways, and I'm a happy and success coach. And so I help people to become happier and become more successful. And so I have all kinds of ways. We will talk about those ways here in a few minutes. But I will talk about my past because I know that people want to know, you know, well, how did you get to where you were? Well, I was brought up a terrible father and, you know, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, all this stuff. My brothers tortured me when I was a kid, you know. And I mean, really, I had thoughts of suicide, that I was just miserable as a child. And again, it's because I didn't know yet that I'm not supposed to be looking at what is, and instead be thinking about what will be and how I want it to be. And so I was going, like most people do, is up and down, up and down, up and down. You know, I got my highs, I got my lows. Now I'm able to actually observe life, my life, and life around me, and I observe it, and I'm not in that up and down. up and down at all. And so I sometimes I call it flying with my angels. I'm flying with my angels, and I just love that. In fact, a wonderful way to start beginning to be on your path to being more successful, to creating things the way that you want your life to be, is I have a Facebook group called Angel Connections, and it's free. And when my angels, when this loving divine energy comes, I channel, if you will, answers and solutions for myself and for other people. And so when my angels are talking to me, I share that on Angel Connections. And so it's very, and if you would just think of those thoughts that I share on there, you'd have a marvelous, marvelous job. Life that and a great job, and you'd be wildly successful. And so I like to look back at about the most quoted book there is, and it's not Empower Your Inner Millionaire, but darn it, but getting there. But one of the most quoted book, and I've written 15 books, and all about these good things, this good news. It's really just good news, and it helps awaken all of us to, wow, I can really have it all. All things are possible. But in the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive. And then, so let's talk about that asking. That asking is what you're thinking about. So actually, our prayer, if you will, it doesn't matter what religion, what your beliefs are, it doesn't matter. It's your thinking, your prayer, that what are you thinking about? Because whatever you think about, you get it. You get more of it. Whatever I focus my attention on expands. And so when I'm able to realize that, oh, I'm not going to focus my attention anymore on anything I don't like, anything that I don't want. If your right knee is bothering you, don't think about your left knee. That if your bank account is too low, don't think about it. Think about, oh, I have wonderful magical sentences and fun sentences to improve our asking, if you will, improve our thinking. And one of them is easy money, easy life. Easy money, easy life. Easy money, easy life. And if you would, I would recommend you all write that down right now. If you would just say that a whole bunch of times to yourself every day, then you'll see that you'll start to attract easy money and an easy life. And it really is that simple, because whatever we're thinking, that it becomes, thoughts become things. Now, the other thing the Bible says, though, is the Father does the work. So your higher power, or whatever you want to call that, so we don't have to figure it out. When we try to use our, let's call it smaller self, and our little analytical mind, that little, I call it a committee in our head, and it's fear and worry and doubt and complaining and blame and shame. And that little committee keeps on going. And the only devil, if you will, in the world, in the whole universe, is those thoughts that keep you away from what you want. There's nothing to fear at all. Fear is simply false evidence appearing real. It's an acronym, F period, E period, A period, R period, false evidence appearing real. And so thus, if we would just have trust and faith that we can ask for it, the Father does the work, and then we have to receive it. And that is really about allowing. We are so attached to having to have more money that you actually are pushing it away. In fact, some people say, well, I know I've been asking for more money, and I haven't said I don't want any money or I don't like money, but I want more money, and it's still not there. But now, and kind of the little awakening part to understand is it's really about how you're feeling, because remember, your thoughts create these feelings, and your feelings are like a signal that go out to the universe, and then you start attracting thoughts, people, circumstances, and events to be able to build your business, to be able to have be the entrepreneur that you've always dreamed of, to have really anything that you want, and it's all possible, believe me. And really, when you look at other people that people have had bad backgrounds, bad upbringings, they've come from poor poverty, and they've made it. And so thus it gives us all hope, knowing that it doesn't matter what happened before to us, it doesn't matter where we are now. What matters is how we are thinking about this. So we have this little committee that keeps on getting in the way of what we want. And if we'll just ask for it and allow the Father to do it, just expect that you will attract the thoughts and the people and the circumstances that you want in order to help you have your dreams come true.
Why do you think people have a resistance to this, right? Why do you think? Because I mean, I have my theory, but I would like to hear your theory of why people are resistant to this idea.
Sure. That again, our experience is our greatest teacher when we experience it. So we've experienced, oh, hey, I've asked for more money and it hasn't happened, or whatever. And so that really has been our past, really has been our friend, if you will. And so we have also been taught, and so let's just pick a subject, and let's say money. We'll think about how we have been brought up about money. The love of money is the root of all evil, which is a misunderstanding, by the way, of money. And, back in Christ's time, that one way to show money and wealth was to have sheep. So certainly if I'm carrying a sheep under my arm, that's not the root of all evil. Okay. And it was just and actually what the Bible was saying is, hey, God brings you everything. And whether or not you like that, want that, whatever. We have been brought up with things like that. And money doesn't grow on trees. Well, yes, it does. I lived in Florida, and there's billions of dollars of orange trees and grapefruit trees. And then think, when we were 5 years old, our parents or somebody, some figure that we respected at that time as a child. So we're very impressionable, and it goes into our beliefs. And I'll get to the subconscious mind and how that plays a part in all of this, a big role in all of this. But we hear something like the filthy rich. And as a little child, we go, well, I don't want to be filthy. So we have beliefs that don't serve us. And those beliefs are buried in our subconscious mind. And so just a couple of minutes to understand on why we haven't created what we want, and to understand how the conscious mind and subconscious mind work. So the boss, the captain of your ship, the captain of your soul, is your conscious mind. And so your subconscious mind has remembered everything in your entire life, every thought you've had, every feeling you've had, and every experience you've had. And it has, the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind has a opinion about every subject under the sun. And that opinion is called a belief. So our subconscious mind actually makes it happen in our life, if you will. And so we have these beliefs. Now, I'm a mental scientist, but also a behavioral psychologist. And so what my peers will do is they'll sit you on a couch and say, hey, let's dig this up. And what's the problem? What were you told when you were 5 years old? Blah, blah, blah. Well, remember, whatever you focus your attention on grows. So if I start focusing my attention on that, I'm going to keep on getting these psychology bills and have to go every week to see them. And it's a rabbit hole. There's no end to that. Okay. So I have been blessed with discovering a way to have magical sentences that will tap into the subconscious mind, make that your dominant belief, with the other beliefs that no longer serve you, go away. They're kind of like shadows, if you will. And when you shine your light on those shadows, that what happens when you shine a light on a shadow, it goes away. And so one of my books, Your Royal Path to Riches, How to Tap into the Kingdom Within Our Subconscious Mind, goes into the detail about that. And that's on like Amazon. It's under my name, Hank, and then Seitz, S as in Sam, EITZ. And you can learn more about that, but that basically is it. Now, what I'd like to do, would any of you want to increase your income right now?
Oh, I don't think so. Hang on. Maybe one or two. Maybe just share just in case there's one or two people who want to do that.
All right. Just in case somebody out there might want to increase their income. And if you notice, I don't use the word money because money has so much resistance to it. We have also the belief that it's hard to get. We got to work hard for it. Money is as easy. I'm independently wealthy. I travel the world, blah, blah, blah. And I got it all. And money is as easy as breathing air. But most of us, again, have these beliefs. I got to work hard for it. I got to sacrifice for it. You don't need to do anything. In fact, both those things are the difficult road, the tough road. Most of us are swimming upstream, and we think our desires are upstream, where we got to swim hard, work hard, sacrifice, no balance in our life. And we keep on swimming, and we're not getting very far. And if we would realize, we would just let go and allow God, if you will, let go. And when you let go, what happens? That literally that the stream of life will take you to all your desires, which is downstream. Now, we have beliefs because we've watched our parents or whatever. Well, they worked hard and they got money. And so we think, oh, that's what you have to do to get it. Well, they worked way too hard. You don't have to do it that way. It's a joyous path if you will just start thinking about it. So I'm going to give you a magical sentence that I use in my coaching. And I have specific answers and solutions, magical sentences for each individual based on what's blocking them. And I can identify what beliefs are blocking them and different ways. But this one will work for anyone if you just will allow it and believe this and expect this, that you'll have more income. But you do have to do this. You need to write this magical sentence down 21 times every day. And I suggest early in the morning. And this will literally start soaking into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind, the kingdom within you, is what creates your life. And that's where your beliefs are. And so thus, you're going to have these beliefs that will increase your income. So do you want to hear what that magical sentence is?
Absolutely.
For those couple that want to have
those two people out there who want that.
Yeah. And so that one is, so it is this, and I would write this down, that I easily accept new prosperity thoughts. So again, I easily accept new prosperity thoughts, and I am prepared to increase my income now. So I'm going to go through that again in case you missed any of it, but it's actually 3 parts of it that are going to easily be able to go in your subconscious mind. So before I do that, just know, some people say, oh, affirmations. If you say, I am rich, and if you write that down, think about it a lot, that you'll become rich. Well, your subconscious mind, you've told your subconscious mind, hey, I'm not rich. I don't have enough. I can't buy this. I can't afford that. So your subconscious mind has these really deep beliefs about this stuff where none of that's going to work. But this will work, and this is why. I easily accept new prosperity thoughts. then your subconscious mind says, no problem. I don't have a issue with that. In fact, in the Bible, again, on Matthew 17, it says, when two of you come together in agreement, it shall be manifested on earth. Well, the two of us aren't two people. It's my conscious mind, my subconscious mind. We need agreement. So I easily accept new prosperity thoughts. No problem. That they're new prosperity thought. I can easily accept new prosperity thought. You don't have a belief against that. Okay. And I am prepared to increase my income. Again, subconscious mind, no problem. You are prepared to increase your income, no problem. And then the third part is the all-powerful now. You can't say something like, well, I will be getting it, okay, or I'll try, or it'll come tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. When tomorrow is there, then it's the next tomorrow. And so it's now. And you activate it right now. And if you'll write that down 21 times, I've had people manifest more income and be open to the infinite numbers of ways that income can be. Normally, we're so stuck on, oh, my income is my pay raise or how much business I have. There are all kinds of ways. You could win the lottery. You could have an inheritance you didn't know about. You could blah, blah, blah. You can attract all the people you want to increase your business, whatever the entrepreneur that you are, that you will literally attract all the opportunities, all the thoughts, all the people, circumstances, and events in order to build that business. But we need to be open for that. So I've had people on the first time they write it. I've had people within a week, 2 weeks, where they all of a sudden increase their income. I help a lot of real estate agents, and I just had a real estate agent after the first session with me and writing that down the first day, called me and said, I already got a listing. He goes, and I haven't had any business. I've been complaining about no listing, blah, blah, blah. But see, if I complain about no listings, then you're going to be answered, and your prayer's going to be answered, and you're going to get more, not enough listings, because you say there are no listings. And so this is the path, and it's a golden lighted path for you, that everyone has their own path. You have your own path, and you have the power with your amazing and miraculous mind to be able to think the thoughts. And the important key here is to ask. Remember to ask. So show me the way is a beautiful, beautiful way to start asking. I'd like to increase my business. Show me the way. How can I increase my business? And the thought may come to you instantly. It may come to you when you're not in a resistant state, where you're all of a sudden open your car door. I've had people where I trigger it, where open up your car door next time, and all of a sudden you'll get a thought about how to have more income or whatever that is. And so hearing that, do you have, Chris, do you have any, thoughts, questions, comments, anything that you'd like to know about all that?
Well, first, I want to let people know that we're going to put that sentence into the show notes. So if you're driving or whatever, you didn't have a chance to write it down, you can just look in the show notes and we'll put that sentence there, along with any other, sort of positive statements that you share with us that we should be working on. I'm curious as to how you first discovered all of this. Like, you were having your kind of not that exciting, not that happy life. And then suddenly now you have, manifesting all these things that you want. How did that come about?
Yeah, and that's a beautiful question. And so it's really to understand this principle that, so I'm going to take us kind of back and take a broader look at this, that we each wanted to be on this planet because this planet literally has everything we want and everything we don't want. And if we wouldn't have what we don't want, we would never birth ideas and feelings of what we do want. So I remember I was an executive with Procter & Gamble, and I would let go of people because of whatever, and they would say, "Oh, this is the worst day of my life," and I'd say, "No, it isn't the worst day of your life. That if you'll look at this as, hey, there's something better for me. This wasn't playing out for me. The people weren't right, whatever my response, wasn't right, and that if you ask and show me the way, that you'll see." And I would tell them, "You're going to call me in 6 months, a year, a couple of years from now, and you're going to say, 'Oh my gosh, thank you so much for letting me go because, you really helped me.'" So a lot of us, people, half of the world is divorced. And so, those people that got divorced, they actually found out the mate that they didn't want. Okay. And it helped them to birth the mate and so typically second marriages are better, whatever, because they have greater clarity. So really, if you'll look at everything in your life, whether it's not enough money or you're unhappy or whatever, if you look at it as a blessing, and that then say this, and this is a technique that is so effective to where you can rise above all this going up and down stuff and really enjoy your life, is when you have contrast, things you don't want, simply point to it and say, "This is what I don't want," and then turn the other cheek and ask, "What do I want?" And you will now, it literally puts the eternity into all of us and everything, because it expands thought and emotions, all this energy beyond where it's ever been before, because of this contrast that we have. And when you look at it as a blessing. So when I was in the military, and I was still really, I'm a Vietnam veteran and disabled Vietnam veteran, and I was still struggling with that. And then I finally realized, that I'm either going to end my life here, or I need to find another way. And it wasn't those exact words, "Show me the way," yet. I hadn't come to that point yet. But it's like, there's got to be something better. Okay. And within me, and my higher power was telling me there is something better. And it would make me feel better. And so I remember I was stationed in the military in the East Coast, and Edgar Casey was about the non-physical and understanding the non-physical. And what's non-physical? Well, our thought, nobody could ever see a thought. My feeling, I mean, you could see it demonstrate, but it's the feeling, when I feel good, like, you really can't, take that out and show it to someone, if you will. And so there really is more angels, whatever, wherever your beliefs are, that it's the non-physical. That's the where it's all happening to be able to make changes and improvements in your life. It's this non-physical. So I got into Edgar Casey. I got into Think, Feel, and Grow, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I actually wrote a book then called Think, Feel, and Grow Rich, because what I realized is that Napoleon Hill's original manuscript, that the publisher said, we cannot use this word vibration. So they took the word vibration out of it 37 times he had written in his book. And so what I did is I put back the feeling, because really, we each have a guidance system. When you're feeling good, it means you're on your path. You're thinking about this in the brighter future and the way your higher power is. And when you feel bad, it's not. And so now you're not on your path, and you're just going to become unhappier. So it was one step after the next. And that's why I'm in a position now where I just pay it forward. I'm not selling anything, whatever, that I want to help people. And it's my soul's desire. I finally realized my soul's desire wasn't working for Procter & Gamble. In fact, I was in a meditation during some training with Procter & Gamble, where I realized, oh my gosh, my calling is to help myself and others become our greatest possibility. And so I've been doing that ever since. And again, wildly successful, whatever, and in society's terms on it. But where my success is, in fact, another book of mine is called The Happiest Man in the World. And that's where my publisher was saying, hey, we should write a book about you. And so we did. We were about halfway through it, and we didn't have a title yet. And also my publisher says, okay, we're already about halfway through this, and we already know what the name is. And I go, really? What is the name? It's The Happiest Man in the World. And so all of us, and all you need to do is be happy, and you'll be literally shown the way. And so so it really was one step after the next step. And the good news is you don't have to go through all the crap I had to go through. That, just believe me, my only agenda is to help you become your greatest possibility. And you can call me. In fact, here's what I'm going to also do, Chris, for you and your audience, that for all of you, that I have a way to improve your thinking. Because remember, thoughts, it's all about that. And there's a little bit more details, actually 5 steps to creating. And it's pretty much like everything that I've been sharing with you, but not to get into that detail. But I have a way to improve your thoughts, and it'll improve your life, your future. You'll get more of what you want. And it's called the Joy Shop. And so anybody who wants this Joy Shop, who truly is dedicated to, hey, I want to build my business, I want more money, I want better relationships, health, whatever that is, that if you can email me, drhank, it's real easy, drhank at drhank.biz, B-I-Z, or call me or text me, 214-753 7204, and say, hey, I want the Joy Shop. And I will send you the Joy Shop that I've had people, top Fortune 100 companies around the world pay lots of money for this. And it helped them with their business, in their lives, gave them more balance, and they were able to have the easy life as well. And easy money, easy life. In fact, I like writing a little 3x5 index cards, and there is easy money, easy life. That's one of my index cards that
Nice.
I look at. Yeah.
Interesting. So now, like, what's your sort of daily life now? How are you, you said you work with realtors. Are you more of a coach? What's your sort of, if I said, okay, I need Dr. Hank, I need to know what you know, and I need you to infuse it into my brain. What would a session look like?
Sure, you bet. So my coaching, and again, I use the corporate America, whatever, would pay $25,000 a month to me. Okay. And again, I don't need the money, but even when I gave it away for free, I realized that when you give it away for free, you don't have that energy exchange there. And I kind of knew that, but I wanted to, help people. And so for $497 a month, you get me every week for an hour. And we literally, what we do is we talk about what you want, where you are right now, and I will help you and lead you to the promised land, and to give you, the things that you want, because I can pick up what the blockage is. I have the magical sentences and all kinds of tools besides the magical sentence, the Joy Shop, other things that I use depending on where you are. And so it's very tailored. It's not a cookie cutter type of thing. It's, hey, who you are and where you are and what you want. And then I will free you, because most of us have literally put chains around our heart. We got to be guarded about everything. We put chains around our thoughts, our mind. We literally, we're like the horses with, we got the blinders on, and I'll take those blinders off and show you the world that is now possible for you. But before that, you ask, kind of like, well, what's your everyday life like? Be happy, be joyful. I just have fun. I fly with my angels. I practice what I preach, if you will, and I just have these amazing thoughts. I walked today. I walked an hour this morning, and I mean, I was literally like floating and just lost in these glorious thoughts on that. I love easy money, and can I please have more easy money? You know, you just have to ask, and it'll just come to you and plop right into your life. So I have amazing investment opportunities. That last year we made 50%. The year before that, 80%. I mean, just amazing. And with very little risk. Most it can go down as 5%. We have stoppages on. I mean, it's just really, I just continuing to create all of this, just amazing, amazing things. So I just sit around waiting for the next miracle to happen. And I expect it to happen, and it does. And another great one to write down is, I expect big, happy surprises today. Doggies. And when you start expecting big, happy surprises, that's your asking, and they'll bring it on. Believe me, you will be brought on and given everything that you desire. And so life is fun, folks, and that you can really have it the way that you want it. And I can show you that way. And again, you could do, you know, my books or whatever, but it's a teaching that plays out every time for people, as long as they do these simple things. And usually it's 20 minutes a day, and it's where you really become a deliberate creator instead of getting life by default and looking at what's happening now. That just disregard all that and start creating your life the way you want.
I can see how people can have some resistance because we're, you know, of our programming and things like that. So if I'm saying, you know, easy money, easy life, and then the back of my head, you know, my subconscious mind is saying, you know, that's, you know, there is no easy money, there is no easy life, this is crazy, you know, then I can see how I'm not going to be able to really get my emotions to be in the right place.
And that is correct. And so, and that's why everybody is different, and where to start with people that, and that's why we can all start at, I easily accept new prosperity thoughts. You know what? Okay, I'm up for that. I'm prepared. Yeah, I am prepared for more income now. And so that's a good, easy way to do it as you start flowing here and recognizing what a magnificent co-creator that you are. But you're right, you can't, if you will, lie to God. And so it has to do with the feelings is really what you're sending out there. And so my counsel on that is to be more general, be broader. Don't be saying, I want $1 million today. It's that, hey, I'd like to grow my business today. Just be more general about it, and then start seeing it. And recognizing it and appreciating it, because you're going to find, I found a penny yesterday, and really everybody just walks by a penny, and I'm in the top 1% income wealth in the history of mankind. Okay. And I pick up that penny, and I'm like, woo, doggies, I got a penny, you know, because hey, if I'm happy over a penny, just think what the universe is going to deliver me.
And that's a very important point, right? Is that every time something good happens, every time something works in your favor, like whenever I go through a green light, I'm like, thank you, you know, like rather than saying, there were 10 red lights, I mean, and one green.
Yeah.
I'm grateful there weren't 11 red lights, right? So just focusing on what's good in your life and what's working and what's, what kinds of things are flowing and going smoothly. And then you start to, it's so often that I see two people in this basically the same situation and the completely different way that they are viewing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Especially I'm in the real estate industry, right? So you'll be at an office meeting or, we're getting together with colleagues, and one of them is complaining about there's no listings and nothing's happening. And the other person saying, I'm having my best year ever. Everything's fantastic. I can't believe how the phone's ringing off the hook. Yeah. And you're like, well, you're both in the same industry. You're both in the same area. Right. Having two completely different realities, right?
Yeah. And the one that is talking about what they don't want. And so that's another general way of looking at this. It's not good or bad or whatever. It's just either what I want or what I don't want. And so those talking about that, what I don't want is, oh, I don't have enough business. That's your prayer, and you'll be answered with more, not enough business. And I love the red light, green light analogy. The only little thing on that is that you said, hey, I'm grateful for not having 10 red lights. Well, whatever you focus your attention on grows, even though you're saying don't want or whatever. And so it's those 10 lights, so instead it's, I just love these green lights and don't pay any damn attention to the red one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Dr. Hank, what kinds of things should we, I think we've touched on this a lot, but maybe it would be helpful if we could just sort of
Sure.
give people a sort of an easy little checklist, like what could I do today to make to give myself more yellow paint, I guess.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I love it. More yellow paint. Yeah. So the most important thing to ask for every day is that I want to feel good. And the reason why that is, you're lined up then with your higher power, and it is your way to be in a state of allowing, to allow more of the good thoughts about the answers and solutions. So again, number one is to ask. You have to ask. And so, people say to me, oh, I'm waiting for God to give me an answer. Good luck. You got to ask. Father doesn't work. Then you have to receive. And there is a whole part to this of receiving as well. But in answer, again, directly to your question, is that I want to feel good today. Another great one is I want to see what I want. That's it. I want to see what I want. Yeah. If I start seeing the things that I want, happy people, more business, wow, that's great. And to just simply ask for those things. And then I would definitely contact me for the Joy Shop and get that Joy Shop. And I would write 21 times, I easily accept new prosperity thoughts, and I'm prepared to increase my income now. Because see, really and the reason why I don't use money, by the way, is we have too much resistance towards money. But income is less resistant and will be allowed more into your subconscious mind, which literally the kingdom, that's where everything is created based on what your beliefs are. And those blinders we've been talking about that that don't focus on the asked to expand my imagination. I'd like to expand my imagination today. And so if you'll just do those things, index cards too, on writing some of those sentences. And again, you don't be specific on, I want $1 million today. You'll never get it. You're some kind of mind say, hey, but, I want to feel better today. I want to grow my business today. I love saying this one every day. I'm looking younger and younger every day. And the more you can laugh, the more you can smile. Every day I ask, I want to smile more. I want to laugh more. And you will be shown ways to smile more and laugh more. And as you do that, you'll raise your vibration, which means raise your point of attraction to attract the thoughts, people, circumstances, and events in order to give you all of your dreams come true.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Hank. It's been really great meeting you. And anything in closing, anything you wish I would have asked you that I didn't ask?
I think you're just the best, and no, there's nothing to do that, but I do want to send my love out to all of you and know that you have the power, you have the ability to be able to think a good thought right now. And if you can just continue to think more about what you want, then I guarantee you will have a better life. And remember to go to Angel Connections too, because that's where you can get some of these thoughts and ideas that will inspire and uplift you and improve your life and give you the life of your dreams.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And
You
can help listeners, you can help a friend today. Sharing is one great way of feeling good, and feeling abundant So share this podcast with a friend who you feel could use a little bit more positivity in their life, a little more abundance, a little more happiness.
Yeah.
And remember to like this episode so that Dr. Hank can get more, we can get more listeners and more attention to Dr. Hank's message. And thanks for being here today, listener. I know you have a choice of about 2 million podcasts. So I'm very grateful that you're here and listening today.
Yay.
Have a beautiful, fantastic week. And we'll see you next week.